But before we get to what they're doing, we first have to talk about why. This is a strike that's been anticipated and expected for several weeks. Now you can hear this inside of the Senate chambers. They were just chanting a minute ago, pass that bill. Where they're going to spend the night, how they're going to get all of this mess cleaned up. Jim, did you want to come over and talk to us too? We talked to the homeowner over here. His name's Jim. Jim, can you tell us what it was like when the storm first hit, what it felt like?
It just happens so quick.
Tore part of the pipe or the entire pipe with it, broke it in half. There's another large tree down here. We're glad that you and your family are safe tonight. A lot of homeowners in this area here on the 3rd Street of Culloden feeling the same concerns tonight, and certainly it's going to be a long evening for them. Fire departments here already and more headed to the scene. I want to give you a look right away of that fire at this warehouse. We're going to give you an aerial view of this home over my shoulder where a large tree was uprooted. You can see mixed in and tangled up. He's facing, as outlined in this federal information, 20 years in prison after pleading guilty to wire fraud. Lawmakers just listened to about 7 hours of witness testimony for these impeachment proceedings of the West Virginia Supreme Court. This is a race that President Trump weighed in on just yesterday, saying that the entire state of West Virginia should reject Don Blankenship and vote in favor of Evan Jenkins and Attorney General Patrick Morrisey. Talk over here so we can hear you a little bit better. Hannah, what's your main reason for being out here?
I'm out here for health care.
Happened pretty quickly. No one even saw it coming in, but I can tell you that this is President Trump's 4th trip to West Virginia. And allow me to step behind the camera, and I'm actually going to zoom in and show you what we're looking at here and what crews have been dealing with for several hours now. You can see that semi-tractor trailer at the middle of the entrance ramp. Families across West Virginia ready for their children to return to school, while educators eager to get back in the classroom too, but on their own terms.
I just want to go back in. I want to be in there with my kids, but I can't. I refuse to let that happen.
As a statewide educator strike heads towards a new week,
we're not moving.
Hoka Elementary School teacher Kathy Gibson prepares for another week of rallying at the Capitol.
This is what we live with. We have perfected this.
Friday, educators joined by their students.
Students out there, if we don't stand with our teachers, who will stand for us?
In the fight to fix PEIA, their public insurance plan, and for better wages. A fight that now has outside community members marching with them.
We're just concerned about losing a lot of our young, intelligent people.
This is something that's been brewing for a number of years, even when I was still in the field of education. We've always been underfunded and underappreciated.
Frank Mace is a retired teacher and principal in Kanawha County. Still, he's been rallying almost all of the last 7 days.
They deserve everyone's support for the job that they do.
With the threat of another week on strike, educators we spoke to say the rallies here on day 7 only gave them more momentum.
Not just teaching history, I'm living history here today. I'm making history.
The closing line to this chapter still to be written.
We are ready to take her to the end.
Miss Martha isn't afraid to admit she likes a man in uniform. So a room full of police officers doesn't get much better than that.
It's good to be on the good side of the law.
This special moment started with a music video praise, the Charleston Police Department joining the lip sync challenge.
Baby, you light up my world like nobody.
This video is now going viral, hitting more than 1 million views in less than 24 hours. It's already been shared nearly 50,000 times.
Lots of text messages.
And some fans.
Private Facebook inbox messages from single mamas.
Taking it a step further.
My wife's been a really good sport about it.
Sergeant J.C. Webb says the video is attracting fans from all over the world. And right at home, a great-grandma took her shot.
I told her caretaker that she thought a lot of us were very handsome.
So with red roses in hand,
I can't believe this. This is
Have you another?
Beautiful. Thank you.
some familiar faces surprise her at home.
Wait a second. We saved the best for last. This here's Officer Mina. He's the secret weapon with us.
The 93-year-old great-grandma says they're all her new favorites.
How come I never see any of you?
You gotta cause more trouble if you want to see us. Yeah.
She's left with picture-perfect moments and a portrait
Oh, how nice.
of the video that brought them together.
Take this to church and show off.
Laced in the laughter, there's genuine thanks.
Because you are the best people. You protect us. and look after us.
Who knew 15 minutes of fame could lead to something as forever as friendship?
You be sure you behave.
Oh, I'll always behave.
Jatara McGee, WSAZ News Channel 3, Charleston.
Neighbor and retired firefighter Art Haynes woke up to flashing lights.
I saw smoke from the back.
His neighbor's home smoking, the area near his bedroom going up in flames.
Fire was growing rapidly. It had already breached the windows, and the windows had already busted out. So time is definitely of the essence. In this gentleman's case, it was just amazing that he's still alive.
Lieutenant David Hodges says the man living here only had a matter of minutes before it would have been too late.
They knew that there were entrapment, so they immediately started an aggressive search.
Haynes was relieved when he saw his neighbor rescued.
Then I saw news, saw he had an arsenal in there, and I was surprised by that.
Then,
very surprised.
He found out hours later he was under arrest. All day long, the wind rips through crime scene tape. Charleston police spent hours combing through this home, and they say what they found inside raises a lot of red flags. Dozens of weapons, several 100,000 rounds of ammunition, and several sets of body armor.
I have no idea what his plan might be.
The type of weaponry and the amount of weaponry, the body armor that we've located out of line for just a normal collector.
The more than 50 guns and hundreds of thousands rounds of ammunition weren't all that landed Farrell behind bars. Police also found a marijuana grow operation. Why did you have so many guns in your house? He didn't have anything to say to our cameras, but police say he admitted to all of it and told them he'd been using weed for the last 46 years, which by state law means he isn't allowed to have guns.
Right there.
Still an active scene here, guys. You can see workers right now with the city of Charleston. They're working to board up this home, make sure that no one else can get inside. And you can also see how significant that damage is.